For hydrant testing and maintenance, we're going to begin by removing one 2.5-inch cap and placing it in a safe area to prevent loss in high water or grass. We're going to slowly but fully open the hydrant until the water is clear and steady. During this time, we're going to exercise caution to make sure we're not destroying or disturbing landscaping or other property. Some instances we may have to place salvage covers or other items to deflect the water. Here we're removing the second 2.5-inch cap, placing it in a safe area also. We're going to place the cap with the gauge on it to one side. Making sure the gauge is in the up position so we can read it during the flow time. In this scenario, we're placing the 2.5-inch ball valve so that the gate's closed on the other 2.5. Adjusted the petcock valve on the testing gauge to the open position so that it can bleed air out of it. Afterward, we're going to attach the diffuser to the gate valve. Some instances we will have to attach the gauge to it. Now, doing a safety check of the equipment on scene, making sure your valves are off. He's going to slowly but fully open the hydrant. With the petcock open, it should bleed the air out as the water begins coming out. Take it to the closed position. Complete opening the hydrant. The reading displayed on the gauge will give us our static pressure. Now, since we have a gate valve attached to the other side, we can slowly and fully open the gate valve to flow through the diffuser. This will give us opportunity for an emergency shutdown should something happen. The reading on the gauge will give us the gallons per minute and the pitot reading for the hydrant. The reading on the other gauge will display our residual pressure. We're going to slowly shut the water flow off, close the hydrant, and bleed it. During the testing and inspection process, we're going to check to make sure the hydrant is of appropriate height. Steamer's clear, we don't have obstructions to the hydrant. The hydrant's facing the correct way. And as we remove the equipment from the hydrant, we're going to be checking for damages to our equipment and to the hydrant itself, surveying the area to ensure we didn't disturb property. During this time, I'll tell you that we take the readings from this test and place them into our record management system, an image trend, and that'll give us our flow readings and storage of the data. As the firefighter's putting the hydrant back in service, he's checking the caps to make sure the gaskets are in place and not broken down or torn, and we'll replace them as necessary. He's checking the interior of the hydrant to make sure it's draining correctly. And take note, he's only hand tightening the caps so that they don't become stuck or frozen in place. At this point, he's taken the steamer cap off, again to check the hydrant gasket and ensure complete drain into the hydrant. Once the hydrant's restored to service, we're going to survey the area to make sure we haven't damaged any property, and we gather our gear.